very misused. They say, oh, so you're against the free market, so you're against freedom. So they misuse these things. And freedom of speech, because then I can say that we need to kill all the Negroes and faggots, like because of freedom of speech. So they misuse these things because you start worshipping this freedom and democracy and opinion and freedom of speech, but and these are things that are very difficult to even talk against these things, like saying that democracy is not a good thing. Then people, oh my God, then
A dictator.
yeah, you're a dictator. No, that's even worse, of course. But basing decisions, important decisions that will uh, save or kill millions of people, shouldn't be based on what you think is best. Shouldn't be based on what a group of people think is best. It should be based on hard evidence. And this is something that is missing in culture today and in the education.
And in many cases, I think it was Patrick who said Sweden is a no is a 0.1 Venus project,
Yeah.
and I did agree, because it's like when where what I have seen, my little experience out in the world is that in a lot of countries, a decision is based on the opinion of the elites.
Yeah.
But here in Sweden, you hear these people talking, the politicians, and we are going to commission a group of researchers on this area and
Yeah.
see what they come out with.
Yeah.
So it's not so much about religion here in
Yeah.
Sweden. It's about what does the latest science says about raising children, let's put it this way,
Yeah.
or building whatever. And then these researchers or scientists, they come and say, this is our assessment of it, and this is what we suggest.
Yeah.
But what actually happens where Sweden doesn't evolve to become a one Venus is again the monetary system, because then when politicians get together, and of course politicians are put there by industrialists, by capitalism, by the money changers, then if they say no, this is not good for business, then the qualified information, this is what we conclude is best, science,
Right.
let's say it's the best science, is put it on a shelf, because in the end what really matters is, will elites make a profit out of
Yeah.
it? So that there are, like, Sweden is a good Venus project start, and maybe you do not know that because you're not born and raised in a country like, for instance, Brazil. But I know that because I come from Brazil, and I know the reality there, and I know the reality here. Hang on. But so we say Sweden is a 0.1 Venus project, but it doesn't go far enough because we still have money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just at the end of what Matt was talking about? I just want to give a closure to that. But if we have to educate people to be concerned about other people, then there is something wrong with the system. When you are comfortable and you're secure in your life, you suddenly become more concerned about other people. When you don't feel something lacking in your life, it starts going towards other people. You say that, what can I do for you? Not what can you do for me? So unfortunately, when we are educating children to be concerned with others, there's something really lacking. And I just want to give you the opposite of what happens when they try to do that in prison. People that are emotionally shut off because they cannot afford to have their emotions exposed, like in jail,
Yeah.
if you teach them, for example, this person is sad, and they show them pictures and they say this person maybe needs a hug, what happens is that because they're emotionally shut off, they see that as weakness. So if you educate children that are bullies, there's nothing wrong with them. There is that they are emotionally shut off because they have had a very hard life. They use that education for their advantage to hurt other people because they are driven that way. this psychologist that I listen to, he has that. If you're really interested in it, it's very interesting how he explains the bully concept, why they bully. It comes from a nurturing thing. If I see somebody sad, I try to take control over them because I want to nurture them. I see you're sad. I come here, listen to me, you sit here, we talk about it. You take charge. That comes from concern. But if your emotions are shut off, the concern gets removed, only the control remains. You understand that? You try to control them, but not for concern, but for control.
I mean, just so that I understand you, the let's say the psychopath, he will learn to express concern, but his intentions are not to give you comfort. It's to use that as manipulation means. So once you get the you get the trust of that person, then I will start to use it for my own benefit. I like Ted Bundy. He did that with one of the. Who knows Ted Bundy? If you don't know, read on Google. And that one psychologist or something, they worked with him, and later on they found out that he was making notes about the psychiatrist, psychologist, just that they was working on him to use that against the psychologist, so that the psychologist would believe that he was improving.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense.
So and that is extreme, but not just a psychopath, but a person that is just a bully. They are playing that game. That is why you should never tell a bully that you're hurting my feelings. That is what they're aiming for. Do you understand? They want to control you because they're emotionally shut off. They don't feel your sadness like they're concerned. They just want to control the situation. So educating a bully to saying you're hurting this person increases that. They see it as weakness. They have to go for it. That is what he talks about. Let me just do this short bit because I feel it's relevant for the Venus project.
What could you do instead of telling?
You should never. You should not try to get the sympathy of a bully. That is not their aim. When they see weakness, they have to go for it. It is like an opportunity. Like I have ice cream here. I say, go for it. And you don't go for it. They have to go for it. That person needs a secure base. You don't work on the relationship of these two. He's hurting you.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, you don't work like this. Like let's say you're bullying him. I don't try to make you. I try to give you more comfort here. I work on the bully. Give the bully a secure base. Then the natural sympathy and concern will come. But not from me telling you should smile. And if a child...
How do you do that? How do you give the bully a secure base?
That is attachment theory, and that is a 50-hour...
Okay, next time.
That's the Gordon Neufeld, if you're interested.
Yeah. But he talked about that too in the book I read, Martin Seligman. So that's about...
Yeah.
What's the name of the man?
Martin Seligman.
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 Okay, thank you.
And when the natural behavior comes, it is always so much more fruitful. When you have a child, I don't know how many of you have children, but I have a 2-year-old. When a 2-year-old says, you just give them something and they say, thank you, daddy, and you didn't say anything, you melt. Because it comes from their own place. Even if it's maybe mechanical, she doesn't really know what she's saying. But if somebody gives her a present and I say, hey, say thank you, and she says it, that is the artificiality that we are used to.
But how do you get her to ultimately say thank you without that you from the very beginning told her, say thank you? I want to know the how to.
When a child is attached to you, they become you. Okay? They want to be like you. They want to enjoy that.
Become a good example.
She will do that because she sees you saying thank you to other people. But now because you said that, all right. Okay.
But this doesn't mean that she becomes a copy of me. It becomes a secure base.
Because then when she's a teenager, she'll try to become the anti-you.
Do you know what that is? That is, I'm just going to go into that because I love this subject. But this teen rebellious, that is a new phenomenon. That wasn't here before. If you go back
In
to
Sweden.
old culture, no, not in the world.
Oh, yeah.
In the old cultures, the children look exactly like their parents, dressed like them,
Yeah.
acted like them. They were part of that family. Now it is a wounding environment to be too close to your parents because they're on you, and you don't
Yeah.
spend that much time with your parents. My child doesn't go to kindergarten. She's 2.5 years old. The world is on our ass. Why don't you put her in kindergarten? Like it is
in the preschool.
preschool, I mean.
Yeah.
They think it is natural. It's not natural. It's normal for society,
Yeah.
but it is not natural for humans to be with proximity of people that are not connected to them for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. They become something that they didn't become before our culture became like this. It is a new concept. It's 50 years old, putting your children in kindergarten.
But who knows? How do you know that young people didn't used to be rebellious, like teenagers? I mean, nobody
They
alive
become
today were
no,
like
exactly.
them.
But they study. If you study old cultures, they look the same. They act the same.
Yeah.
I'm not. I cannot give you exact details because I don't have it. But this person that I'm talking about, Gordon Neufeld, he goes into those details and he tries to explain that the person, if you're in a loving relationship with your wife, and she comes home every day, and you say, "Hi, how are you, honey?" She's fine. Don't want to talk to you. Don't want to connect to you. It isn't that the person is rebellious and is becoming her own person. She's denying connection because they don't want it with you. There is something wrong with the relationship with a child that is pushing away. There is something that is not working. You might not be giving enough space for the child to become their own person.
So you have to look deeper why
Yeah.
they're acting like
Yeah, exactly, and we don't do that.
But it's just, I thought I had heard the opposite. This is very
Yes.
vague in my mind, but I
Yes,
thought I
tell
had
me.
heard the opposite, that even in very old texts you can
Yeah.
find examples of, young people just
There
being
is.
rebellious.
There's an old text from, I think it was Aristoteles.
Mm.
Somebody in those days said,
Yeah.
the kids today are crazy. Something like that.
Yeah.
And that is what we say today as well. The kids today, they
Yeah.
don't respect
Right.
their parents. They don't know how society is supposed to. They say that always because they are getting into their own zone. Yes, there is a part of that, but it's becoming extreme today. But
that's
it's
the
But
problem.
I think maybe just what is changing is now you can't beat the crap out of them when they disrespect you. So
Yeah.
before
But
I
Aristotle-
think that maybe they still try to rebel
Yeah.
a few times, but then they had to give up.
Yeah.
Or maybe just that when they became teenagers, you arranged their marriage. And
Yeah,
off they
get
go.
'em out. You know when a
Yeah.
child gives up and is very good for you, you know when that is? It's when you're in a loving relationship.
Yeah.
When I have a great connection with my child, I can say whatever I want. She loves to be with me. But if something isn't working that day, it becomes the opposite. And how do parents control their behavior of children? I want you to listen to this next time you hear it. A child is not coming with their parents. The parents want to leave. What do they say to the child? What do they say?
Time to go to sleep.
Yeah, the child says no. What is the next phrase?
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. The child says
Yeah.
no. Next phrase. I'm going.
Uh,
I'm going. I'm leaving you.
We're leaving now.
We're leaving. We're going. Bye. That ruins a relationship because you're saying you like me, you want to stay with me. If you don't come and listen to me, bye. And that is why you have rebellious teenager, because the parent is said all their life, oh, you want to do your own thing? Bye. So now they try to become their own person and they are not given that space. You can get a child to come with you, it's very easy, but you have to work at it. You have to understand, why does the child want to stay? There's
Yeah.
so many different things.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not. It's very easy. There are other ways more efficient and less harmful for the child, but easy it's not. It's like when Jacques said, it's easy to turn people around. It's not.
No.
It's not.
But you have to work at it. A child, if you know, if this has given me a base for handling that situation in my life, it gives me a base. If you don't have a base when you're going into something, you work hard. The people that have children that work against them all the time, you become very exhausted. Okay, it feels like we're on a totally new topic.
And then,
I think
But that's all right.
that's all right, but maybe everybody doesn't
and
enjoy.
then when the kids become teenagers, then you might want to have like one meal together as a
We don't have
family,
that anymore.
Like where you talk to some families
Exactly.
that
That
they
is
don't
what
meet
is-
their teenagers. Everyone eats whatever, and
And
then
how-
other families they say, well, they grew up having like dinner all together,
Yeah.
so then they feel that then the kids feel like part
Part
of
of
the
it.
family.
An example that he gives is from an old culture that he went to, is that when they have 3 sit-down meals every day, and every time they finished a meal, they remove everything and they put the plates out for the next meal. Do you know what that means? It means that we don't have any separation. We have the next time we're preparing for our next meetup. You have to
Yeah.
keep the connection constant with children. If you don't, they go away, and then you have a lot of problems when you say, can you clean your room? Because you have lost that attachment. If I see some of you and I say, I would like you to come and help me move, okay? I can't just call you and say, come, help me move. I have to establish a connection. We have to talk to each other. We have to have something going on for it to be a pleasant thing for the both of us. We lose that with our
So
children.
he starts calling
Yes.
you and
On the meetup today,
It's a trap.
Hey, let's be preparing for something.
we're
Wait.
gonna have the meetup at our house. We're gonna have next meetup at my house. I'm moving.
It's
Gotta be in two places.
Yes, please.
Start off this.
Please wear comfortable clothes,
Yeah.
and I'll see you then.
Or
I think
you
it's-
need-
I think there's a connection with this, with the whole society
Yeah.
system we were talking about, because I think people don't have time for their children
No,
and
that's
relationships, because they either work too much,
Yeah.
or if they don't have a job, they worry too much about not
Yeah.
having a job. So
And
they
the
don't
third
have
thing,
time.
I'm just going to put the third thing in it, which is the most important to me, is that they put the responsibility on the what they presume the individual. The
Yeah.
child should know better. They talk to a 2-year-old child like, why did you throw that? Are you stupid or something? Because we have been brought up to create the illusion of individual, so it's not my fault. The child did this. What is my responsibility? Nothing. In attachment theory that Gordon teaches us, I see it as the way of the Venus Project, is that you don't put the responsibility on other people, you put the responsibility on yourself. So when my child throws something, I don't attack my child, I make a note. No more glass.
Right, plastic.
Now we use plastic. For now.
Yeah.
She goes on the table. She's becoming her own person. How important is this for me? She's
Yeah.
trying something new. Okay, I remove the things that are dangerous. I'm close
Right,
by.
right.
I don't tell a 2-year-old child, hey, if you fall down, you're gonna die. That is putting responsibility on a child. I take that responsibility. Give space for her to become her own person. And when you have to learn to see these things, this is not me talking. I am a parrot. Have learned things from a person more educated in that field. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking when Jacques said in the old days they had this train
Yeah,
with some
I have
platform
done that.
out, with some platform
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and people they ran and the train was full and they had to get to the jobs, and then they stepped on the platform and a lot of people got killed because they fell off or
Yeah.
a car hit them or something. And so this has been going on for a while, and then they assigned this problem to an engineering firm, and what they did, they removed the platform so nobody could get killed by means of stepping on the platform because they were late,
Yeah.
whatever, and the train was full. They couldn't get on any platform because there
No.
wasn't any. So you remove the reason of that accident.
Yeah. or frustration, if we're talking about children.
Yeah.
Usually in a situation they get frustrated over something. Don't control the child, control the situation.
Yeah.
That is what I do all the time. I was sitting having dinner with my friends. Here's my child. They were sitting there. My child was not comfortable. I took her, I placed her between me and her mother.
Yeah.
She became relaxed. But I don't sit there and say, hey, don't do that. Don't throw things. Something is bothering the child.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, something is bothering them. They are stressed out. There are a lot of problems on their back. If we want to take responsibility, we don't work on them. We try to work around them, fix the things that are bothering people.
And the children pick up on the energy of the parents, so if they're like calm, then the children are more or less calm.
Yeah, different ages.
Yeah.
Until
When
5
they're
years
small,
old, you know, the thing that a child doesn't have is the part of the brain called the amygdala. They don't have that built in. What
Yeah.
that does, which will be greatly increased in the Venus Project, because you have to, after 5 years old, when that gets developed, the more relaxed you become, the more you build that part of the brain. That part of the brain gives you the ability to say, I want to hit you, but I love you. Okay, that stops a child from doing a lot of crazy things. A 2-year-old doesn't have that button. When they go crazy, they go crazy,
Yeah.
100%. When they want to hurt you, they really want to hurt you. And if you say don't hit me down there, they're going to go down. That's why you never say that. That's why you never say that. You understand? Because
Yeah.
in that moment, they really want. I was sitting in a.
It's like with the bully, right? You don't.
Yeah, you never go to a bully say, hit me, not the glasses, bam, right in the glasses. I was sitting in a market and our parent was there with their child and they have gone apeshit, and she was really going crazy, and the parent and her grandmother were trying to control the child. It was the situation that had frustrated the child.
Yeah.
And what the child was tearing at the mother, and she was saying, that's hurting her. And that was the intent of the child at that moment. You understand? That was
Yeah.
not a trigger for a stop in the movement. It was, yes, that is what I'm trying to do.
No, it's
So
really
she
important.
went harder and harder. So
And
the-
children are smart. They learn by watching, and then they know, oh, this I can get more from daddy or from mommy.
I'm
if
going to
I
end
do
with that.
this.
Can I end with that? Because it was a new revelation to me. When a child fake cries, you know
Yeah.
why they do that? Because it has been reinforced. When they really cried,
Yeah.
really were upset, they were given that. My child never fake cries with me, because when she when she really cries, I hold her and I say,
Yeah.
it's okay, baby. So she knows that if she cries, she will be held, but she
Yeah.
will still not
Right.
get that
She
which she
won't
wants.
get
No,
that.
because
Right.
daddy decided that you can't have ice cream right now.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes. All right. Thank you everybody for coming.
Your lecture was very successful today.